Tourniquets are a standard issue for members of our military, but most civilians only have a vague idea of what they are or, Christy, even how to use them.
Yeah, but a team from the University of Michigan hopes to change all of that and save lives in the process. Our own ER doc, Frank McGeorge, is here to show us the tool that could make it all possible.
You may have heard of a tourniquet. Well, this is a tourniquet. It's not only much easier to spell, it's also much easier to use, and that's the whole point.
A car crash, a hunting accident, a mass shooting. Just a few of the situations where a tourniquet can save lives.
It's really heart-wrenching to have someone lose their life because they didn't have access to a proper tool.
Tourniquets are used to stop the bleeding caused by a traumatic injury to an arm or leg.
If you hit a major artery, you can literally bleed to death within minutes.
But there's a problem.
The standard military tourniquets, they can be a little bit painful and difficult to use. So if you're talking about an elderly victim or a child, it can be a challenge.
Dr. Kevin Ward is the executive director of the Max Harry Weil Institute for Critical Care Research and Innovation at the University of Michigan. He's also an ER doctor and a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves.
At the Institute here, we sort of reimagined what a new tourniquet would be, something that anyone could use sort of intuitively, and develop some special mechanics to make it easier to apply and more effective.
They teamed up with the U of M College of Engineering to bring a fresh perspective. The result? Simple but brilliant.
Sometimes, instead of thinking outside of the box, we think better inside the box.
It has a wider strap to make it less painful for the patient, and a large handle that's easily turned, even by someone who's elderly or injured themselves.
This is a 1-2-3 process. So
Step 1, place the Velcro strap at least 2 to 3 inches above the bleeding.
Come through like this, through the slot here. I would tighten this as much as I can, fold it on itself with the Velcro.
Step 2, turn the handle to tighten the strap.
Keep turning until you actually see the bleeding stop.
Step 3, use the lever to lock the tourniquet in place and mark the time it was applied on the strap.
When the victim or the patient does get to definitive care, the providers will know how long the tourniquet has been applied.
You can also easily use the tourniquet on yourself. Realizing the life-saving potential of what they had created, the Weil Institute partnered with a company called Precision Trauma.
To us, it was a really simple device that we felt anybody could use if we can get it to market.
For Dr. Ethan Miles of Precision Trauma, it's become a new mission.
Depending on where you're injured, you can bleed out in 3 to 5 minutes. And so that's a lot faster than EMS is going to get to you in most places around the world. So really you need to have something on hand, whether it's in your office, in your vehicle, at your school, or at your home, where you can take care of yourself, you can stop that bleeding.
But just as the company and the Weil Institute were preparing to introduce the tourniquet to the public, war broke out in Ukraine.
And we're aware of what this product could do to save lives. So we decided to take our entire inventory and ship it out to Ukraine through various contacts that we have throughout the company.
780 tourniquets were sent to Ukraine into the hands of civilians and citizen soldiers.
In Ukraine, it's not just the military that are being impacted, it's actually many civilian centers as well.
At home or abroad, the purpose of the tourniquet is simple.
If you have bleeding in your legs, in your arm, nobody should ever die from that when there's such simple, easy, effective measures out. So really that's what we're trying to do, is get it out there and save some lives.
Now, the tourniquet can now be bought online for only $30, and we're going to put a link with this story on the health page. Dr. Ward would ultimately love to see these everywhere in boxes on the wall in public places, just like we're now seeing AEDs. Now, all of us are gathered out here right now to try and show you exactly how simple this is. And so Christy has gallantly volunteered a limb to be our...
Have I volunteered? Was I forced into service?
And it is really as simple as 1, 2, 3. So 1, you take the strap, and let's just say this was the injured extremity. You slip it around the leg, and then you just put it through the loop and cinch it down. until it's reasonably firm.
Feels like a
And
blood
then-
pressure test right now.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it should be snug enough that you can't really get your finger in there easily. And now, Demond, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and just turn 2, and that's basically, you can feel it cranking down. Yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
you can see how it cranks down pretty quickly. And then
Yeah.
if you just flip 3, that will literally lock it into place. And now you could not undo 2. And then the last step would be, and this is with tourniquets in general, is you want to actually mark the time that the tourniquet was applied, because when tourniquets are applied, it does cut off the blood flow to the limb. And so you want to be able to know how long it's been on there so that we have some idea of basically how much injury there might
Yeah, how
be
you
from
can
the
triage
tourniquet.
it
Exactly.
from there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel a little pulsating in my leg right now.
Well, that means it's not turned down tight enough, but we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it the way it is. But I think this is a pretty straightforward device, and it really can save lives when somebody has an injured limb. And this is, you can see, this is great for elderly, for anybody that has difficulty with mobility. Yeah. This would be very easy to use.
And to have it at the ready would be a game changer for a lot of people.
Exactly. That's the key thing. If it's not there, you're never going to use it.
Yeah, and it seems easy enough.
Good advice, Doc. Thanks so much.
Sure.
All right, Kim standing by for weather. Kim, you checking things out over there?
Yeah, Dr. Majori's, I'll take that demo model with 4 boys. I do have frequent flyer miles in the ER, as you well know, so I'll take that off your hands.